David here from aBlogtoWatch.com with a review of the ITAnano Phantom Carbon Automatic 49 watch. Now, that name is kind of long and sort of tells the entire story and everything there is to know about this watch. So, let's just take things in order and let's get acquainted with this watch and what it has to offer, because there's quite a few things to talk about. So ITAnano is an Italy-based company that develops different kinds of technologies, especially in, case materials and how to use those technologies in their watches. ITAnano was founded by Alessandro Baldieri, who also has some other watch brands to his name. One is actually called as he is called. So he has a few different brands. And with ITAnano, what he wanted to do is create a brand that offered some sort of high-tech modern materials and paired it with very competitive prices. So that is ITAnano, and so let's just dive headfirst into what is the most peculiar thing about the brand and actually about this watch in particular. So, as you know, we usually mention the price of the watch at the closing of the video reviews, but for now, to make my point, I will mention the price now. So the price of the Phantom Carbon Automatic 49 is $540 US, and the reason why that's really amazing is because, as you can see, it has this quite rare and unusual case material, which, as the name already told us, it's carbon. And we have, until this point, we have really been saying carbon fiber, or in this case it's just carbon material, remain exclusive to the big guns and for really the high-end watches and luxury watches, with IWC and Audemars Piguet and a number of other brands springing to mind first, whose carbon watches, were most of the time priced at $25,000–$30,000 US and up. So seeing this material pop up at the $500 price segment is really quite unusual, and I really can't recall any other brand that offered such a material at this price. And if you know of anyone else, just leave a note in the comments. I would appreciate it. But honestly, I have no knowledge of another brand that offered full carbon cases. So let's see in detail what this case is made of exactly, and how it came to be, and what it offers and what it brings to the customer. So the case is in carbon, or rather it's called CFRP, which is carbon fiber reinforced polymer. And what that means is that, well, there are many ways of creating a carbon case watch. You know that there's Audemars Piguet's forged carbon, in which case they put little strings or snippets of carbon fiber into a mold, and then they use extremely high pressure and temperature to create a case, in which case actually you can seal pieces of carbon. By contrast, here I'm trying to make sure that you can see it in the light, that it has this grainy texture to it, so to speak. It's very soft to the touch actually, but it's not a soft. Well, so you see, it's not a perfectly clean or polished look. Of course, it has this matte color, and which is more or less dark green, sort of a camouflage color. On the images, it usually looks brown, but actually it's more deep green in real life. But it's really difficult to capture the color. Anyway, as you can see, that the texture is different to forged carbon, and yeah, what ITAnano is saying about this material is a bit difficult to comprehend, and how it's made. But it is also molded. So basically what you have is a plastic material reinforced with carbon, and that is injected into a mold, in which it is basically cooked at extremely high temperatures to create a case that is very, very light and, yeah, very robust. So what does it mean in real life that it's very light? ITAnano says that the case of these watches weighs just 13 grams, which is super light. It's just featherweight. And with the movement installed, it should be around 53–54 grams. I guess maybe that is for the 43mm model. This is the 49, which is of course much larger. I put this very watch on a scale that I have here at home, and it measured in at 94 grams or something with the strap and the steel buckle and everything. So I guess if you took the strap off and you know, you got rid of the rubber strap and the buckle, it would really just leave you at around 60 or 70 grams for the watch itself, for the watch case alone, with the movement and the crystal and everything in there. So yeah, what in real life it has to offer is an extremely lightweight, which makes for very good wearing comfort. I mean, you can barely feel that it's on your wrist. I will put it on right now, so you can see what it looks like. At 49mm, I expect it to be way too large for my wrist, which is about 6.75 millimeters in diameter. Millimeters, inches. What am I saying? So there you can see that it's still kind of, well, acceptable, while also a bit, you know, obviously it's way too large for me. But again, there's a 43mm size version as well. The lugs are not too long and not really extend beyond my wrist, and as you can see, it wraps the wrist really nicely. So it wears just fine. It doesn't wobble about, and there's no weight really to make the watch wobble on your wrist. So it makes for a really comfortable wearing experience. The strap is really soft and soft to the touch and flexible, so it's nice. It's nice to wear. It's not pulling my skin or my hair or anything. There's another. The watch comes with a leather strap as well. Although they don't supply that with another buckle, so when you're changing straps, you also have to change the buckle. And one thing to note, if you're someone who likes to who's thinking about buying this watch and likes to change straps at home, is that changing the straps on this watch is just really a pain in the a pain in the neck, so to speak. What makes it that is that, you know, you can see here this little plastic piece integrated into the strap, and what that does is it lines up the strap with the watch and creates this integrated look, which is really nice, and it makes for this flush fit with the case, and that's all good. But when you're changing the straps, you can see that the pin goes really deep into the strap, and when you're changing that, you have to keep the pin pressed in together, or pressed inwards, and you have to approach the watch like this, and it really is very difficult to change the straps from that direction with the pin sitting that deep. So it took me like, although I have some experience in changing straps and have the right tools, it took me like 15 minutes to get it changed, and of course while also not trying to scratch the case. Speaking of which, durability wise, this matte look doesn't really show and has not really developed any scratches. I guess maybe in the long term it could maybe just develop a few ones if you wear it under really tough circumstances, but I expect it to stand some wear and tear quite nicely. And yeah, the problem of course is that you can't really polish it, so it's not like a polystyrene case when you can get rid of most of the scratches, so you have to bear that in mind. Inside the watch is an automatic movement. It is the Miyota 8215. It's a Japanese automatic movement. It's it's arguably the lower to middle, not end, but middle segment of the Miyota automatic movements. There's the 9015, which is arguably more accurate and has a bit more features, but it works just fine, and in this price segment I guess the 8215 is also acceptable. So you can see the readability is very nice with the properly sized hands, and you also have the date. The movement offers manual winding. It's not hacking. It's not a hacking movement. But I guess that's fine again at this price point. Here you can see it's hidden behind this stainless steel case back, which is very likely to be the most the heaviest part of the case. But that's fine. Here you can see at the side of the case these aluminum anodized screws in there, but you cannot take those out, and those are not for changing the strap. You have to use the spring bars for that. So there you have it. It was it's a neat little watch, priced correctly, actually very surprisingly given the case material, It wears just fine because the weight is really low, although I think I would go for the 43mm version for my small wrists. If you have larger wrists than I do, which is of course there's a high possibility of that, because again I really have small wrists. I guess the 49mm is going to be just fine. So there you have it. This was a review of the ITAnano Phantom Carbon Automatic 49, and you can see the full review on aBlogtoWatch.com soon. Thanks.